So I mean, if they were part of this war in this movie, those are the only two that would be fighting each other.
Yeah.
Pretty much, they would have to pretty much try to jump the Hulk.
Yeah.
If that was the case, and then Spider-Man would probably have. I don't know.
Well, I mean, and to switch gears a little bit, after the bombing of the UN, and that really motivated the Black Panther, and that really escalated his involvement. I mean, that instantly. I understand.
Wait, I'm going to jump into this spoiler because this is something that really drove the movie forward.
Mm-hmm.
When that happened, when that attack happened, okay, you got the Black Panther, unknown.
Yep.
And that was explained very quick. I mean, the king, he dies in this attack, this explosion. And dude is sitting there and he explained, he assumed the mantle of king as soon as he puts on that ring, and he gets up and he leaves. And he's like, look, this side of me is saying, yeah, okay, fine. But this side of me is saying, go get him myself.
Yeah.
As king, and he gets up and he leaves, and next thing you know, because basically what happens is an attack is blamed on the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
There's a face recognition. It's like, it's the Winter Soldier. So what does Black Panther do? Goes after the fucking Winter Soldier by himself. He's not sending motherfuckers to go do it. He's not waiting for motherfuckers to go do it. He just wanted to go fucking do it on his own as a vigilante to do this as the new king.
Pretty much going out of his way to sit there and extract vengeance and justice for his father.
Right.
Yeah. It starts out. It goes out and it opens up the next big action sequence with what happens after that. We go ahead and we jump into a lot of things as far as Bucky finally explaining to Cap, yes, I know who you are. I know who I am.
Yeah.
But he also knows that it's not a good idea to have himself around, that there are still some things that happen that can probably be tripped off, that makes him kind of like where puts him into a state where he can't control what his actions are.
Well, and that was explained too, as far as
that's what I said at the very beginning.
As far as
that was the hook.
So the guy having the book and having to read those fucking words,
keywords,
those keywords that actually brought off, that set the trigger in motion.
It was Hydra. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, I really enjoyed after after the UN and Black Panther was going after Bucky. I really like that chase sequence that he did.
It's centered on Black Panther.
And he did, absolutely. And like we said in the non-spoiler video, this is what we were talking about, that I actually identified. Like, Black Panther would do that. It makes perfect sense.
Everything in that sequence, okay, yes, this is a superhero movie, so let's throw out physics. Let's throw out the fact that people have cars. Let's throw all of that out, because every superhero movie would be torn apart if we're going to do that. But the way the chase went, because Captain America finds Bucky, and the motherfuckers are coming after Bucky. They know where Bucky is.
Like, we gotta go.
It's like, we gotta, and no killing. They fight their way out.
Yep.
Yeah, Bucky kind of slips a couple of times, force of habit, I guess. But and they're running away from the law because they want to arrest Bucky. They want to arrest the Winter Soldier. And that's when Black Panther shows up. There you are.
Yep.
Come here. You're going to pay the price. So it's a chase with three motherfucking superheroes.
At one point, Black Panther was sliding down the damn building, chasing after Bucky. I was like, yeah, and that was really well thought, especially when they start fighting.
Black Panther, nope, bullets aren't getting into him, and
No.
explain that shit.
Yep.
His suit,
Yeah.
nice, very fucking nice. So yeah, after that, 3 of them motherfuckers end up being captured.
Arrested. Yeah.
Yep.
Or arrested.
Arrested.
You know, after that happens, before the you know, the next action piece pretty much occurs. You know, they go ahead and they it continues on. The tension between Tony Stark and Captain America continues to mount, because Cap, he goes out of his way to say that, you know, I understand what you're saying, but everything that you're doing, just like before, isn't right for everybody. What happens is that we find out that through a little, as the action plays out, that Bucky is actually framed. The person who bombed the UN building is actually somebody else. Is actually Helmut Zemo, who,
Yep.
as far as Marvel villains are concerned, this is probably one of the better Marvel villains to come along in the last few movies.
Absolutely.
He's probably as good as Loki, and
He lives at the end.
Well, Loki-
yeah, they made the very smart choice of not killing him at the end.
Well, I mean, and I'm pretty sure he will have things to do.
Yeah,
When he
do
gets out of
things
his current
when he gets out of his
situation.
current situation.
Yeah.
But and the thing is, though, there was actually character development on Baron Zulu or Zumo.
Zemo.
Yeah. I don't know what Zumo.
You said,
But
but you got Black Panther on the brain.
yeah, but but no, there was character development, and you know, as the movie played, like you said, as the movie played out, we understood his intentions.
Yeah.
And at the very end, we're like, oh,
Yeah.
and then we thought, you know, then it becomes human, and you know, humane, and then we're like, you know what, you would do that in the situation that they were in. I mean, he
figured that, look, I couldn't destroy these motherfuckers on my own.
No, yeah.
So they have to upload from within. Good fucking strategy. And
Well, what was weird was, you know, he was talking on the phone.
actually, he wasn't.
Well, no, I know.
Yeah.
There's a recording on the phone, and then at the end, we're like, oh,
That's why.
yeah. And then
So he was one of the people that lost his family.
Yeah.
In one of the
battles.
incidents
Yep.
with the Avengers.
Yeah, he actually, his whole family
Sokovia.
died in the Battle of Sokovia.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Which was basically what happened. Age of Ultron, Avengers: Age of Ultron.
That man.
Well,
Yep. I mean,
It was what. And let me go back into the action sequences. Now, the action sequence that led up to the airport scene, I guess we could call it that.
the
Yeah.
abandoned airport.
The
scene. Remember that place was-
abandoned airport.
Yeah, why didn't motherfuckers ever see it? And why were people there? It was abandoned. Damn it.
yeah, they said it. They said it very, very openly. Winter Soldier sits there and says they're evacuating the airport.
Yeah.
They're coming.
It was it was insane. You know, Iron Man, and then
but then let's go before that for a second.
Okay.
All the recruiting. That was done with everybody. Pick your side, left Twix or right Twix.
Yep, pretty much. That's pretty much what it
That's
was.
pretty much what it was. And okay, you had certain people either get brought in or get visited and be like, look, this is happening. We need you.
Yeah.
Or we demand you to show up.
And I really think that the way Iron Man, Tony Stark,
Same person.
yeah, I know, but it's easier. Tony Stark recruited Spider-Man was just spot on. I mean, I was really impressed with the Spider-Man sequence altogether from through and through.
Yep.
You know, I mean, Spider-Man, Peter Parker is a teenager in high school now, and it's just he filled the Spider-Man shoes. And
The great thing that they announced with that is that he's only been doing it for 6 months.
Yeah.
He's relatively new.
Yep.
So
business.
yeah.
And what was cool too is, from what I got from this, was that at this particular junction in Spider-Man, Ben is dead. is what I'm understanding, because he kind of references about, the old power, great comes with great power, comes with great responsibility.
The way that he says it is that
say it.
No, the way that he says it is that, when you could do the things that I do and bad things happen, then it kind of makes it your fault.
Yeah. And absolutely.
So from this Spider-Man, we got a lot of playfulness, but we got some seriousness, and we got a lot of kick-ass scenes with him as far as all of that describes Spider-Man's
character. What was so funny, though, was that he acted like a starstruck teenager when he was around Iron Man and all these other.
There were two starstruck motherfuckers in
there. Yeah,
Ant-Man and then Spider-Man.
Yep. Well, if you think about it,
did kind of the most out of the whole airport scene.
Yeah. But if going back to Spider-Man, if you think about it, he's only talking. It's obvious right from the get-go. They set him up as a geeky. The way that he gets his tech is that he goes dumpster diving. And now all of a sudden he's talking to basically one of the richest, most famous dudes in the world is sitting right there in his
Parker knew who Tony Stark was, unlike a certain other movie that a reporter didn't know who.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
We can flog that horse a little bit later at the end of this video. All right. But the one of the things that I've seen online about I'm still bothered about the fact that he's so young. There's two things that I've got to sit there and say outright to address that. Okay. Number one, actually it's going to be three things. Number one, when they found the actor to go ahead and play Spider-Man, play Peter Parker, Tom Holland. Well, part of the reasons why they chose him over all the other young actors that look like General Milquetoast type characters. All right. One of the reasons why that they used him was that they had him come in and they had him act with Robert Downey Jr. to do a chemistry read, whether or not these guys work together. And fuck it if they don't work together well, because there was a lot of nonverbal communication and body language and tells and hinting from gestures and fucking expressions and everything else that was happening during that whole scene. That if actors don't have good chemistry, it wouldn't work out otherwise.
Nope.
That's number one. Number two, since they're starting over with him just being 6 months into being Spider-Man, they're really looking forward as far as having a young guy that can be there for 3 movies.
And grow into the movies.
Yeah, and he's going to grow into the movies.
Absolutely.
So that's number two. The third reason why I think they went with the very young version of Spider-Man is that if Spider-Man is the jaded, sarcastic adult who's graduated college and has already spent a little bit of time as a bachelor, he would not have joined up in this particular version, in this particular conflict, this version of the Civil War. He would have sat there and he would have listened to what's going on and be like, you know what, I'm cool right here in Queens. Thank you.
You see, and I was about to touch up on that because it wouldn't have made any sense. The Avengers have been around for years. If you had an older Spider-Man that would have been doing this for years, it wouldn't have made any sense as far as saying, wow, we've never seen him. Even though we understand about the licensing with Spider-Man and Sony and Marvel and all that, but it still wouldn't have made any fucking sense.
Nope.
Whatsoever. No. So going with the young Spider-Man, going with the 6-month-old, that was brilliant as far as them. All right, yeah, we know he's around. And fucking Falcon knew about him.
Yeah.
Falcon knew about Spider-Man. He mentioned it at the end of Iron Man.
Yeah, they dropped hints about him at the end of Ant-Man.
And Iron Man knew about him. So, again, fucking cool that they had the young Spider-Man go into it and not the older Spider-Man that everyone could have seen, known, contacted. No.
I think I have to go with you guys the same way. Being a youthful Spider-Man, I think he would be more easier to persuade.
Yes.
One side or the other. I mean, if Captain America would have came to Spider-Man, I would think that he joined whatever, because he's so new, so young, so
impressionable.
Yeah, there you go. And
wow, Tony Stark.
Or wow, Captain America.
Well, he was that.
That's what I'm saying.
In
So,
every fucking fight scene of who he went against. Yeah.
I mean, he knew who those guys were.
Yep.
Absolutely.
He was taking on both Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
And he's holding his
He was holding his own.
Yep.
That was a really, really nice thing. Spider-Man didn't get owned, people. That's one of the best things. They didn't dub him down. They didn't say, no, he's the weakest link. None of that shit.
Yep.
Nobody that was the weakest link in these battle scenes.
His impact in the airport scene was very big.
Huge.
Especially
just Ant-Man.
Yeah, especially when you take into account Ant-Man. When they first announced Ant-Man, as far as him coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a lot of people were sitting there saying, "What's the point? He gets small."
Okay.
You know? With a lot of people not knowing that he's actually a key member of the Avengers in the comic books. And the thing is that yes, they went with Scott Lang instead of Hank Pym, that version of Ant-Man, because
for reasons for that.
Yeah, if they decided to go with the Hank Pym version of Ant-Man, then they would be probably be following it up with PSAs and other things. But
wasn't that Howard Stark at the beginning of Ant-Man?
Yeah, that's the
Because
same.
I pieced that together when they showed Howard Stark in this movie, and I'm like, wait a second here. So there was a connection. So that's why when Hank Pym said, I tried to keep my technology out of Stark's hands.
Yeah.
So that was Howard Stark right there at the beginning of Ant-Man.
Yep.
Nice deduction. Nice connection there.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, the funny thing about that is that I didn't recognize that at first. I didn't make that connection at first because I was expecting to see the guy that they used to play the younger Howard Stark.
Mm.